A top AEW star is working Revolution with an injury. Plus, update on plans for Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. And some surprising future plans for a top NXT star. It's all in the wrestling news right now. It is, of course, a big weekend in the wrestling. That's right, it's the weekend that Gary Poundland makes his wrestling debut in Hales Owen. Come on, Gary lad, do it for the Foxes, son! Also, as well as Gary Poundland's wrestling debut in Hales Owen, Revolution this weekend as well. You did your predictions.
We did predictions, yeah. And I predicted that a certain person would retain their championship, and Ross predicted that this certain person might pick up the championship, but that could be on the fence, Tom.
It might be on the fence. It could fall off the fence and maybe land in a ditch. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reporting today that Thunder Rosa got injured on the Dynamite show just gone in that tag team match. He suffered an injury. No news on what injury was suffered.
Yeah.
But despite the injury, she's still planning to work the match on Sunday. And like you say, this brings into question the possibility of a title change.
I mean, this is the big thing as well. I think if you don't pull the plug on Thunder Rosa now, then I'm not sure when you pull the plug on Thunder Rosa, but with her working with an injury, that now might factor in to whether she picks up the belt or not. I mean, we've seen it happen before, you know. Well, obviously, we already know that she's injured here, but much like the Seth Rollins and Finn Balor match for the Universal Championship, you know, we saw Finn Balor win the title, but then unfortunately he had to vacate it, didn't he, because of his injury. And I wonder if we'll get something like that here, but with the knowledge that Rosa's already injured. I mean, hopefully it's not that much of a bad injury, that she is still working on Sunday. So hopefully if she did pick up the belt, she could continue to defend it or take a week or two off and try and get better. But yeah, no, like this is such a shame because I think this is the time you do pull the trigger on Thunder Rosa.
Are you ready for Dr. Britt Baker's title reign to come to an end?
Yeah, I mean, like, we've been talking about this, and I think it's kind of a little bit stale at the moment. She's been a fantastic champion for 10 months, but I think we kind of keep doing the rinse repeat thing with it. And unless you build up like Jamie Hayter or something to take it from Britt Baker down the line, like I think Thunder Rosa is just the perfect person to pick up the belt and then put a lot more ferocity into the women's roster. I
think we'll know very quickly on into their match the status of Thunder Rosa in the sense that if it's a match that goes really short and it's a sort of quick, cheap and dirty title retention for Britt Baker. We know that Thunder's probably quite badly injured, but we know that if the match goes as planned, then she's probably just going to be a slight injury that she'll work through.
Yes.
The fact that she's working through it, we wish her all the best.
We do.
Looking beyond WrestleMania, we're looking beyond Revolution to WrestleMania rather, which is coming up not long to go until then. I don't know about you, I've got a little bit of WrestleMania fever.
Yeah, a little bit.
Taking a few WrestleMania ibuprofens and the temperature's coming down. One of the big plans in place apparently is a match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. Now, we haven't seen that manifest on television yet. Kevin Owens dropping some little digs at Texas all the way through there.
Oh, he has been.
The update on this comes from Dave Meltzer, who says Austin, at the age of 57, will do his first match since the 2003 WrestleMania because WWE has a lot of money and a lot of seats to fill for this show. As of right now, though, this is not certain to be a match. It will almost definitely be a confrontation. There will be a confrontation. Austin has been very careful for years to not put himself in a position to be disappointing to fans and has not agreed to do it as a match as best we know. It is unknown the final form, but the belief is it will be more than just Austin giving Owens a stunner, although that will likely be the final payoff. But WWE wants a match. So from this, WWE wants to put on a match.
Yeah.
There is a kind of a plan B if Austin doesn't feel like he's in a position to put a match on, and having, you know, something a little bit beefier than just a walk out and a kick wham stunner. Would be that. As I say, they're trying to sell WrestleMania tickets.
I mean, that's the thing as well, isn't it? Like Stone Cold Steve Austin in Texas is going to be a big draw, especially if it's advertised that he's got a match. But part of me wants to see a match and part of me doesn't want to see a match, just because it kind of ended perfectly for Austin with The Rock at WrestleMania 19. Like, it was so good, such a good match, such a good way just to bow out as well, you know? But I think if he's in the ring with Kevin Owens, I think they can do something special together. I think Kevin Owens is kind of like the perfect person for Stone Cold to be in the ring with after being away for such a long time, you know? But we'll see what happens. Even if it is a confrontation, maybe they draw it out and do something like a big backstage brawl or something. I'm not sure. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens nonetheless.
Looking over to the House of Diamond Dallas page for this next story. So Buff Bagwell, Buff Daddy, has announced that he's moving into Diamond Dallas Page's house. He put on Twitter, "I hate to do this, but due to me moving in with DDP this week to get the help I need and work on a new project called Change or Die, I have to postpone my Orlando and Melbourne, Florida appearances for the weekend. We will announce new dates very soon. You can get your refund at where you originally purchased your tickets. I'm deeply sorry for this, but I have to get myself together to be the best Marcus Bagwell possible. I'll still be in Ohio next weekend for our live show, though, so that's good." So Buff Bagwell dealing with an addiction issue and has gone to the ultimate guy to fit the wrestling fixer in Diamond Dallas Page.
Without a doubt.
And I'm intrigued by the project, by Change or Die.
I mean, that's quite a very...
feels a bit resurrection of Jake Roberts.
Yes, it very much does so. You know, I'm really glad that he's gone out and got the help. And if anybody's like the perfect person for it, it's DDP, isn't it? Because we've seen him change, or should I say, sorry, help so many wrestlers that have really struggled with addiction in the past, like really, really badly. And I'm just glad he's getting the help. And DDP, perfect person for it too, I think.
Have you seen on Netflix yet Guardians of Justice?
No, but do you know what? The animation in the trailer looks ridiculously good. It looks top tier animation studio stuff.
It stars Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
As a sort of a Batman you buy on Wish. But I think it knows. I'm trying to get my head around it because I think it knows it's a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But it leans completely into it.
Yeah.
It is like somebody pouring maple syrup into your brain for 20 minutes at a time. It is an assault on the senses. I think I really like it. I binged about 6 episodes in one night.
I didn't realize it was a series. I thought it was just a film.
Everybody thought it was a film.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it, and within 20 minutes, the credits rolled up, and then that was when I went, oh, it's a series.
Oh,
it's great.
I'm actually looking forward to dipping into that now.
Please do.
I will.
As I say, it's an assault on the senses. Wonderful to see DDP. And there is a surprise wrestler that makes appearances as well. Yeah. Talking of surprise wrestler appearances, a little NXT UK spoiler on the way here. And I know you're an NXT UK guy like myself.
Indeed.
Who's rocking up in NXT UK?
Roderick Strong, Tom.
Roddy Strong.
So he made an appearance at the NXT UK tapings this week. And on the first night, he faced Wolfgang. And reports say on the second night, he faced Ilya Dragunov. Holy moly.
Now, spoilers have been very hard to come by for these. But there are photos around, and there is a photo that seems to be Ilya Dragunov versus
That gets
Roddy.
me excited. I'm glad that you can't see under the table right now, Tom. What's that? It's rise. What, careful.
A few people have easy Tiger.
Yeah.
These are new tables. A few people have said like, oh, so this is Roderick Strong being moved to NXT UK on a permanent basis. Bear in mind that the way that NXT UK works is they'll do 2 days of tapings, and that covers them for about 2 months.
Yeah.
So Roddy's probably back in the US now. He's done his NXT UK run.
That's it.
And and you'll see him on telly for probably the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I guess it's just a way to promote NXT UK a little bit more, isn't it? 'Cause unfortunately, it gets pushed to the wayside. I don't think many people watch it, which is unfortunate as well, but there's so much good stuff on there. We've said it a million times. Preach. But yeah, like, I'm excited to see this because 2 incredibly intense wrestlers together in Dragunov and Strong. Lots of backbreakers are going to be going on.
Yeah, and then that brings Dragunov back over to America as well to do stuff on NXT 2.0. That's a good thing as well. Also on the tapings in the UK, look out for Lizzie Evo, who I'm a massive fan of. She's just one of those that's really made a mark for herself in the British wrestling scene. Now, we haven't heard that she signed or got anything, but she was brought out on NXT UK as Eliza Alexander. So she's got herself an NXT UK name.
She
now,
does.
and she's hanging out with Zaya Brookside, which suggests to me that there are some plans afoot for the wildly talented Liver Bird Lizzie Ever.
She'd be an asset to NXT UK. Like, she's such a character, and her heel work is phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. You go to a show and people are just throwing all sorts at her, but she takes it like a champ and gives it back tenfold as well. She's brilliant, and looking forward to this.
Exactly. More news across the day and across the weekend as well at cultaholic.com. He is on Twitch, probably by almost time for Twitch with Andrew. By the time this video goes out.
Probably so,
Probably twitch.tv/Cultaholics, and Blind Bus Simulator featuring Dan from our editing team, who looks a little bit like Justin Tiger from Graded Live.
I'm not sure if they're the
Cultaholic
same.
Live.
No.
Just me.
Just
Maybe
you.
just me. Until we're back together again. Keys.
Love you, bye.